Right, ladies. Time to go home. But I swear to Christ, if I catch you again, I'm gonna skin you both alive.
Isn't that?
Master Otto!
Hey! Go!
Oh, shit. Right, where were we? Go on, get out of my sight!
What are we gonna do? You can do as you like. You can go and carry sacks or dig latrines. I'll look after myself. I'll go and see Lord von Bergov at the wedding. I bid you farewell.
Oh. Yeah. If I were in your shoes, I'd be glad to be rid of the good for nothing, eh? Yeah. All right, off you go.
Suppose I really do need to find some job. I'll find Mutt without you, you stuck-up Lord of Perkstein.
Get dressed. You can't just walk around like this.
It's about time. Come here.
Aye. Right away.
Do you have anywhere to go? Somewhere to sleep?
What do you want from me?
I don't want anything from you. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh. For what?
I've been begging for alms here for days, but I didn't make any real coin till today. And that's thanks to you. The scene you made brought out nearly all of Troskowitz.
You're welcome. At least it was good for something.
Oh well, not many people can make such a strong first impression. But look on the bright side.
Hmm?
Now things can only get better.
Yes, you're probably right. It doesn't get much worse than that. Unless somebody tries to kill me. Again.
You're still alive in one piece. It's a new day and the sun is shining. Like Tomcat always says, bruises build character.
Hey, you. What's your name, anyway? What do you do?
I'm Bara. Just Bara.
Looks like you know your way around here pretty good. You're from here, right?
I ain't. I'm just passing through.
You're something like a wanderer.
Nah, I usually find work with someone, stay for a while, and once I save a bit, I move on.
Then why are you begging here?
Sometimes I collect herbs for the apothecary, or help in the tavern. But I'd like to go somewhere else, so I'm scraping up whatever I can. But on the whole, you could say I'm a traveller, or a nomad. But don't say it too loud, the locals don't take kindly to them.
Why?
Because they're different, and it scares people. They travel from place to place and take their home with them.
I'd like to see what their homes look like.
You can go and see them, just don't stare too long.
I have no money. I might as well beg on the village green like you.
The hell you will. This is my turf. Here you go. I'll skip supper. It's partly your doing anyway.
Wow. I mean, thank you. Seriously.
Yeah, don't start crying. You'd better find some work quick.
Oh well. It was nice to meet you, but I should probably get going. Get a job, and so on.
Don't worry, you'll manage. Till we meet again.
Well, what can you do? How can I help you today, friend?
I'm here then. You said in the alehouse that you could do with a helping hand at the forge, didn't you?
I could. My last two hands, well, they're not worth mentioning. And what with the wedding coming up, the work is piling up. Ah, what's your name? Henry?
That's right.
You should know, Henry. The blacksmithing isn't for everyone. Have you done it before?
Yeah. I basically grew up in the forge. My father was a swordsmith, and not just any. He even forged swords for the nobility.
For the nobility, eh? Well, that kind of experience will come in very handy for me indeed. As it happens, I have to forge a wedding present for young Lord Semine. A fine sword.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test, so I can see if you can make a straight blade. That shouldn't give you much trouble if your father was a swordsmith, should it?
Sure thing. I can get started right away.
Great. Find some iron and get started then.
Iron?
You can't make a sword out of butter, but if you don't have your own stuff, you can get everything from the chest in my forge. Ah, you fucking piece of shit! Get to it. I want to see how you'll fare. Furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up. Try poking it around for a bit. Now get the furnace nice and hot. There's a lever above it. Give it a pull. It works the bellows. Tell the temperature right now. Try it out. See? That's exactly the straw color we want. You've got talent, lad. Now heat up the whole thing. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it. Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are. That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other. It's cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you've got to go there and back all day. But it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Hear that? Besides the sparks, you can tell a good strike by the sound it makes. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work goes by easier. Sometimes I'll whistle to myself to keep the rhythm going. There you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it, and the sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking. Let's have a look. Very nice work. Your father taught you the trade well.
He'd certainly be happy to hear that.
If you carry on hammering as well as you did today, you've definitely got a job here. Even so, keep in mind, it's all about making sure every strike does its job. That's why you can't let it get cold, or keep striking the same spot. If you work evenly, each strike falling right next to the last one, you can't go wrong. Got that? Or is there something else you want to ask about?
What now?
What do you think? You're not going to be idle. I'll find you some work to do right away. You're pretty good at swords, but what the locals really need is axes and horseshoes. Right. Here are some simple drawings that show what they're both supposed to look like. And some iron. You can get down to it right away.
Just like that? You aren't going to help me?
Sacre, lad. I chose you because you already know a thing or two. I'm not going to look over your shoulder all bloody day. You take care of these smaller jobs. Forge away as long as you're able, and then sell it all. Once you've made some coin and feel like being out in the open again, I'll give you some more interesting work.
What the fuck is this supposed to mean?
Hey, lad. What do you want? Come here.
What do you want?
Just to wish you a good... Fuck you, whoreson!
I've got you! Oh, there's something lying over there. I hope it's not Mutt. Oh, a nice bit of venison. And something took a good bite of it. Could Mutt have been here? Dead. And robbed of everything, just like Capon left him. And there's no trace of Mutt. Mutt's nowhere around. Someone must have taken him in. It's not far to the herb woman's place. Maybe I should ask her whether she's seen him. Have you seen a stray dog around? I thought he was dead, but he's likely still alive.
I'm sorry. I haven't seen any dogs around.
Oh, sacre. Do you have any idea where else he might have gone?
If I were a dog, I'd go to where there's food. There are plenty of fishermen around the pond, and they're always throwing out leftovers at the tavern.
Do you think he'd go and steal leftover food?
I don't know much about dogs. He could have run into the woods and started hunting. He wouldn't be the first or the last. There's a whole pack of wolves near Sameen these days. Maybe your dog's gone feral and is running around with them.
Thanks.
Take care now.
Greetings to you. How can I help?
My dog got lost not far from here. Did you see him by any chance?
I haven't seen any dogs round here for a while, but I hear there's wolves in the forest causing problems. Just the other day, a shepherd boy from Copenina complained that his sheep were being eaten by the flea-ridden beasts.
Where can I find this shepherd?
Siegfried? He has a hut at Copenina. It's just below the castle, on the back slope of the hill.
And you haven't heard anything else about wild dogs?
Here, in the tavern? No, but there was a fella here who gets by doing a bit of poaching. He said once he was hunting when, right in front of him, a large pack attacked a deer. A mix of wolves and dogs, he said. That's not something you see every day.
Do you know where that was?
How would I know where he goes hunting? But I'd say it was in the forest.
Feel quite
Farewell.
hungry. I'm looking for my dog.
What's that got to do with me? Everyone's looking for something.
You're a huntsman, so I figured you'd have some idea if there's a stray dog roaming around here. It's possible he might have joined a pack of wolves.
Now that you mention that wolf pack, I've got it in for them. And I'm not the only one. They've been wreaking havoc around Simine, chasing after game. It's driving old Lord Simine mad. But you're telling me an ordinary mutt joined up with them?
I'll have to go and verify it. Thanks.
Folks say they're always prowling up in the woods and rocks above the pond in the evenings. If you want to find them, try looking around there before dusk.
A ravaged deer. It looks as if they were dragging it somewhere and it snagged on something here. They were trying to drag this poor thing away somewhere. They can't be far from here. What?
Mutt, come here. Good boy, good boy. Get it. Sick!
ridden furball. Where have you been? What's that? Those wolves have turned you wild. I'm glad nothing happened to you. I was worried about you. Seriously, there wasn't a moment I didn't think about you. Oh, come here, you cute little monster. So, tell me, did you like it over there? Did you meet a pretty she-wolf over there? I'm just playing around. But did you miss me at least? What? You didn't? Did you forget about me? Ah, so you're just kidding me, eh? Do you want to go back there? Or are you going to stay with me? I'm glad to hear that. So, we'll get down to work then, eh? There are a lot of things we must do. I think that's enough. It's great to see each other again, but it's time to go. I agree. Said like a true knight.
How can I help you today, friend? It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semine, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semine and find out what the bloody hell happened.
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semine that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semine.
All right. I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them.
Whoa. Bloody.
I'm looking for the Takov blacksmith's cart. Have you seen it?
Loads of carts come past here. There's going to be a wedding, and they need supplies. Try asking Captain Gnarly. He keeps an eye on supplies. He'll probably be in the courtyard.
Thanks.
And watch yourself when you go into the courtyard.
Why?
We've got some wedding guests from Moravia. They're in pretty high spirits. It's still a while till the wedding, but them gents is already getting into the swing of things. So I says to him, "No, father, I haven't been fornicating. I've just been loving my neighbour."
Hey! You alright there, laddie?
Oh, you should have seen him. He went as red as a cardinal's hat. Aye. Hey, servant, bring some wine.
Me? I'm not a servant.
Oh, I know. Old Semine is saving supplies for the wedding later. But you didn't need to bother your wee head about that.
Look, I'm not from here.
Oh. I didn't give a fuck what you free. You speak our language, do you not?
Well, Yarko, seems to me this fella doesn't know how to behave toward his betters.
The old man's hired hands are lacking in manners. We'll soon fix that. Now you're gonna die!
Don't take any of this shit!
Ha!
Rubbish speaking the dead.
I'll be your bloody pop, fucker!
Why did you do that?
These days, no one's ever really safe.
What?
Ha! I'm with
bastards!
Him even more.
I'll crush you!
I hope he doesn't hurt anyone else.
Can't take any of his shite.
Shame! Shame on you!
Come on. Oh, you wee bastard!
In the devil's name is fucking going on here?
What do you think's going on, Grandad? I'm teaching your people here how we do things.
Grandad?
Why, Grandad? An old captain like you probably still remember the flood.
True enough, Yurko. I am old. And I remember all sorts of things. Like you. When you were a little nipper running around here bare arse, with a ribbon in your hair, screaming out how you was Princess Sophie. Poor lad, hadn't a moment's peace from his big sisters.
What about that way?
Who in God's name are you?
Henry. The Takeoff blacksmith sent me. Radovan.
Blacksmith, eh? Then you'll have some explaining to do. Come along and never mind that fool Yurko. Young Samin's getting married, so we has to put up with his kin from Moravia.
We'll be needing a dozen geese. And I must tell Vashek to get 3 pigs ready for slaughter. And the carters will have to be sent to Yetchin to get at least a peck of poppy seed for cakes. And gingerbread spices. Oh, and wine, too. It's almost all gone, what we bought only last week.
Enter!
Sorry to intrude, sir. This is Henry, Blacksmith Radovan's hand.
Oh, excellent. Dorothy, leave us now. Just make sure that there's plenty of everything so long as it doesn't cost too much.
But, sir...
Not another word! Leave us! So Radovan sent you alone. Who's going to unload it all? It's a whole cartload.
Yeah, Radovan sent me, sir, but not with the goods. The thing is, he's missing his cart, along with the carter in his hands.
What? But they never came here. Are you telling me they got lost?
Well, I couldn't tell you what happened to them, sir, but it's my job to find them.
There are all sorts of vermin roaming the countryside.
Oh, no
sir.
need to imagine the worst right off, gnarly. Anyway, I need the load from that cart, so saddle up your old nag and we'll ride out, Captain. I could do with a breath of fresh air. I've had it up to the eyeballs with counting geese and pies.
What about Henry here, sir?
Well, what about him?
We could use an extra pair of hands. You know how my shoulder's acting up. Yurko is shit-faced, and your son...
The older has work to do. All right, take Henry with you if you want. Just so long as he doesn't slow us down.
Thank you, sir. So, lad, you going with us? I hope you're happy about it.
Yeah. I'll be glad to help you.
Oh, you reckon we can't manage on our own?
No. That's not how I meant it.
Take it easy, son. I'm only yanking your pizzle. So, do you know what to do? Or have you got any more questions?
Actually, there is something I'd like to ask about. I'd like to go and see that wedding.
Wouldn't we all, lad? And what would you do there?
I'd eat and drink my fill and check out the local maidens.
I hope Lord Samin didn't hear you. He'd be none too pleased to hear you want to take part in such a grand affair, just to stuff your face and roll an A with some drunken wench.
I beg your pardon, Captain, but that's what most fellas go to weddings for.
That's an unspoken truth, son. Unspoken, mind. Anyways, you're Radovan's hand, ain't ya? He'll be coming to the wedding. He's making a wedding gift for the groom. Stick with him, and maybe he'll take you with him.
And you, sir? What is it you do?
Well, son, I wonder if I haven't made a mistake about you. If you haven't figured me out by now, you can't be very bright.
No, I just meant, what exactly is it you do for Lord Semine? And your name isn't exactly very common.
I'm the captain here, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you what a captain does. As for my name, it's a nickname Lord Semine's grandpa gave me. May he rest in peace. When I joined his service as a young fella, I took my gnarly club with me. Wouldn't use anything else. I was used to it. And more than once helped me to, well, win an argument. I broke many a hard skull with it. And it's still in one piece. We've been together so long, we even share the same name.
You're lucky you didn't turn out to be Captain Knob.
Or Captain Headcracker. You're right.
We should probably get going.
That we should. But it's getting pretty late. We need daylight for a search like that. Come back in the morning and we'll set out. If you want, stay here. You'll get a bit of grub in the kitchen and you can sleep in the barn.
I'm ready to set out, sir.
All right. Stay close to us and don't go wandering off.
As you say, sir.
Where will we start searching, sir?
If they drove out of Tarkov and headed towards us, they had to pass through Troskowitz.
Right, sir. You keep up with us, son. Crossroads ain't far, but it seems there's fellas vanishing on the way.
What do you think about it, Captain?
I know you told me not to jump to any conclusions, sir, but I can't help myself. Someone's running rampant around here, sir.
I know who's running rampant. Yurko in the cellar. We're out of wine again. I knew this wedding wouldn't be cheap, but I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. And the bailiff, the bride's father, you'd get more blood out of a stone than coin out of him. And then he behaves like I shit golden eggs just because I'm a noble. Even though he's got more coin than me.
Such are the times, sir. But that Yurko, he's going too far.
You know how those Moravians are. It's in his blood.
Aye, I noticed. But they're getting too much to handle. Him and his cronies. They started on young Henry, soon as he set foot on the courtyard.
What? Is that true, Henry?
It was nothing. Just a bit of a friendly brawl. They clearly had a skinful. I can understand it.
Well, I've sure as hell got no understanding for it. I hope they didn't hurt you.
Young Henry here gave Yurko a nice hammering.
Oh, that's no surprise. The fella can hardly stand upright most of the time.
You'd have to get up early to catch them sober. But they wasn't that drunk as to give Henry an easy fight.
Look here, lad. If you're such a champion, I'm sure you'd accept the challenge of an old man like myself.
All right, sir. If you're up to it.
You'll see soon enough that I am, Greenhorn. I need a bit of a stretch anyway. There's an abandoned pen along the path a bit. We'll stop off there and see what you're made of.
All right, sir. If you'll excuse me, I'll explain some things to the youngster here first. Wouldn't want no accidents happening.
So, we're here. Gnarly, tell the youngster here what's what.
All right, son. You're going to fight Lord Semine. It'll be an honorable fight, so you better act accordingly. Hold on, Mo. I'll give you some gear for it.
What weapon will you give me?
What would you like?
Sword?
Don't get ahead of yourself, laddie. A sword belongs in noble hands. You can have my cudgel. It might be just a stick, but it's my stick, so careful with it.
Thank you, Captain.
Save the thanks, and get your arse into the pen.
So, young'un, are you ready?
All right, let's do it.
Jesus, I'm hit!
Fucker!
Henry, come here.
I hope that's enough.
What do you say, son?
Whew. You really gave me the runaround.
I'm no spring chicken, but I'm as spry as ever.
God's truth, sir. You didn't disgrace yourself, but I can see the young un has spirit. Anyways, you can keep that old junk, Henry. Even my cudgel. But take care of the old fella. He might be just a piece of wood, but he saved my arse more than once.
I will, Captain.
And since you won, I've got something else for you as well. My shield.
Isn't that a bit too much, Gnarly?
Sir, my left shoulder's fucked anyway. I can't carry no shield.
True enough.
Thank you.
Ah, I needed that. It's good to stretch the limbs every now and again. And you're pretty handy, youngster. You should come to the courtyard, and Gnarly here will give you a good education in the art of the sword.
I call it the art of not getting skewered as soon as you step foot outside the village. But
Watch
do come
where
with
you're
me.
going.
We've got a nice arena in Samin. It ain't no abandoned pig pen.
You can't always choose your battleground, Gnarly. Whether it's a pig pen or an arena in Karlstein. It's the performance that counts. And while we're on the subject, where are you from, lad? It's clear you're not from Trotsky.
I'm from Silver Scallops, sir.
Aha! Now I understand why you're here. You're not the first one to flee here from the war.
I don't flee from a fight, sir. I have work here, and a lot of scores to settle.
You want to get revenge for what happened back home? That usually doesn't end well. You'd be better advised to find yourself a well-built girl, build a cottage, and visit the church and the tavern in turn. There's no helping the dead anyway.
That's nice advice, sir. Only women will tie you down, lad. Better to go and see a bit of the world. You're doing the right thing.
Don't you see I'm walking here?
So, we're in Troskowitz. What now, sir? Should I go to the bailiff and ask if he might have seen someone?
Well, that makes sense. But the young fella here should do it. If the bailiff sees you, he'll guess I'm in the village and come and bother me. And I'm really not in the mood today for any bombardment of complaints.
I understand, sir. All right, Henry. Run along to the rat house and inquire about that wagon.
And Henry, not a word about me. Are we clear?
About who? Since you're not here, how could I speak of you?
That's what I like to hear. Now run along.
Master Bailiff, can I ask you about something?
Ask away, by all means. Wait now, aren't you that lad who's helping Radovan in the forge?
Yeah, that's me.
I heard his hired hands went missing.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here.
Ah, I was thinking they were driving awful fast with that cart.
You saw them?
I did, a few days back. They raced through the village in the early evening so fast, they were dropping sacks of charcoal.
Where were they headed?
Towards the east, to Apollonia on the road to Yichin. And you're looking for them?
I am indeed.
I'm glad to hear it. I heard there were goods for Semine on that cart, and I can do without that kind of trouble now. On account of the wedding, you know?
It seems you have a lot of concerns with that wedding, Master Bailiff.
Of course I do. I'm the father of the bride, after all. Although not everyone sees eye to eye with me. Lord Semine would be happier if I paid all the bills and left all the decisions up to him. Who's invited, what there'll be to eat and drink, entertainment, everything. It's not like I have a burning desire to deal with it, but if I'm going to pay for it...
I understand. But isn't it just that the groom's family is more concerned about these things?
That's not it. I'll tell you what it is. It's because Lord Semine is a noble and I'm just a commoner. Only I've got coin. While he's trying to keep the wolf from the door in that piddling estate of his.
You ought to calm down, Master Bailiff. That kind of talk can stir things up.
You're right, of course. It just makes me mad, though.
I understand. Do you know anything about Radovan's hired hands?
Only what I've told you. But to tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind if they never turned up again.
Why's that?
Well, they might look like butter wouldn't melt in their mouths, and Radovan praises them, but I know people. That pair have mischief in their eyes. I can tell.
That'll be all. Thanks.
Well then, young man, how did it go?
I didn't say a word about you, sir.
There's a good lad. And what about the cart?
They were spotted here, sir. Going to the east, towards Apollonia.
So to Yitchin? The bastards! And what about my goods?
Oh, they were driving so fast, it was falling off the cart.
The thieving scum. Let's hurry. To Yitchin!
Sir, I could send a message to the Yitchin captain of the guard.
Oh, it'll take too long. We'll go and get them ourselves.
Won't you be missing preparations for the wedding at home, sir?
Will. Praise the Lord Jesus. If I have to choose between riding to Yitchin and listening to Dorothy's endless fussing, I'll take Yitchin any time. Besides, there's a nice inn along the way, the Three Cats. We can spend the night there.
I remember that place, but I'm not sure, sir, if they'll let the two of us set foot inside the door.
Oh, gnarly, that was 15 summers ago. God knows if the place is even still standing.
True. Still, we'd better keep our eyes peeled.
What is this hoot?
They might not have gone to Yitchin. They could have turned off somewhere. Or something could have happened. They might have been ambushed, maybe.
Will you give over with that? I'll bet my braves they weren't ambushed. More likely we'll find them boozing at the Three Cats.
That'd surely be the best outcome, if that old dive is still standing. Let's go, then. So, St. Anthony, which way now?
While you're praying to the patron saint of lost things, go and have a look along the road, Gnarly. And you, Henry, have a look to the left.
All right, sir. But don't forget, my eyesight ain't what it used to be.
Well, that's what we have the youngster for, isn't it? Off you go.
A sack of charcoal? That could have fallen off the cart.
You found anything, lad?
There's a sack of charcoal lying in the ditch to the left of the road. The bailiff said they were driving like the devil, so maybe it fell from the cart.
Oh, that makes sense. To the left it is, then. Gnarly! Back here!
We're getting close. My bones, sir. You'll have the car back in no time.
I just hope we find the horses, too. Yarmilka here ain't the youngest, and I wouldn't want to drag it back home myself.
A nobleman in harness. We ain't ever had such a spectacle in these parts.
You might get to see it soon enough. The lords in this country have all gone to the dogs. Every lowborn with a bit of coin builds a house in Kuttenberg, while we live in squalor. Why do you reckon that is, lad?
It's not my place to talk of such things, sir.
You see, Gnarly? At least the lad knows his place, and the order of the world.
Or he's afraid to speak his mind, sir.
None of this would be happening if we had a king. And I mean a real one. Not Wenceslas or Sigismund. Oh, anywhere that's not ruled by a strong hand, all sorts of things go wrong.
Especially when you've got Moravian relatives eating you out of house and home.
Oh, hold up. This is strange. I don't see any cart tracks. What do you reckon, Gnarly?
I'm blind as a mole, sir. But it's all peculiar right enough. Where the hell could that cart have vanished to?
Well, that's just it. They had nowhere to turn off.
I'll look up the road a bit. And you, Henry, have a look back along the road. Maybe it fell in a ditch somewhere. Who knows?
Very well, sir.
The blacksmith's cart. And someone went to a hell of a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Hey! I found the blacksmith's cart! Come here!
Well, now, here we have it. The blacksmith's cart.
Someone went to a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Of course the goods are gone. The bastards hauled it off to the rocks. That's clear. Well, we can't let them get away with it. We'll carry on, but on foot. My old young milker would only break a leg there. And keep a sharp lookout. Something stinks here.
I told you, they got ambushed by them bastards that's on the rampage around here, sir.
Oh, be quiet. We still can't be sure of anything.
Ah, Apollonia. I spent a lot of time running around here as a young lad.
Oh, not me. This place always gave me the shivers.
God's truth, I ain't got only good memories of it. One time, got my leg stuck in a crevice a bit further on. Trapped there all night I was, shitting myself with fear. It wasn't till morning that the folk from the fortress found me. The whole of Sameen was out looking for me.
See, at least you came here as a kid. It still gives me the creeps here.
Why's that, sir? It's just some rocks, ain't it?
You'd sing a different tune if you'd had the rope maker's wife as a nanny when you were little. Now, she had some tales about this place. Headless horsemen, goblins and white ladies. Every night, we'd gather by the hearth. The old woman would sit at her spinning wheel telling stories. I'll tell you, Captain, there isn't much I'm afraid of. But when that blind old crone was croaking her tales of devils and holes to hell, with the fire crackling and the wind whistling outside the windows...
Listen.
Yeah, I hear it.
There's somebody there, sure enough.
Let's get closer. What do we do now? I heard more than two voices.
I used to clamber around here as a young lad. The girls from Slatigo used to come make a fire here and jump over it, and so's their underwear wouldn't catch fire. Sometimes they'd take it off.
That's nice, Gnarly, but I don't think it's scantily clad maidens we'll be running into here. So what's that got to do with anything?
Well, there's a nice view into the gorge from up there. We only have to go back a bit, and we can get up there nicely.
Right. Henry, what are you waiting for? This is just the kind of thing we took you along for.
Sure, sir. With a bit of luck, there might be some girls there, too.
I could do without girls with voices like that. Now get going.
I'm not kidding. Honestly, tell him I'm not having him on. You saw it too.
True. He ain't yanking your pizzle. I saw it with my own two eyes. She had one different than the other.
Those definitely aren't the
All
blacksmith's hands.
But that ain't normal. Everyone must be laughing at the wench. Why? Some people might like it. I don't know who'd like that. And did they do something?
So how's it look, Sonny? How many?
I saw 3. And they don't look like Radovan's hands.
And what about my goods?
I didn't see them. It looked more like a patrol. I reckon there might be more of them hereabouts.
Seems we can't avoid a fight. I hope you're ready, Henry.
Of course. We'll smash them to smithereens, and in the evening, we'll drink a toast from their skulls. Ha-ha!
Hold your horses, son. Keep some of that piss and vinegar for the fight. You might have whipped me in that pig pen, but this is a different matter.
So, how are we going to do it? Do you just want to charge them, sir?
What else do you suggest?
Someone could go back up top and try to take one of them down with an arrow before we charge them. There's a good view of the camp from up there.
Good idea, Henry. And I see you're equipped for it too. Climb up top, and as soon as you shoot the first time, we'll charge them. And make sure you don't hit one of us.
Right you are, Captain.
I was. Just because old Stumble poured some pond water on your head in the woods don't mean a damn thing.
Stumble's a priest.
Tumble is a drunken old fool who claims he was a priest.
You don't say. You really saw that?
I'm gonna bash your face in.
We'll finish this quickly. There's more.
I'll be done with you in a flash.
Here's the lot.
Yeah, don't spare him.
He's done for.
I need a bandage, quick. There. Oh, this day took it out of me, and no mistake.
And it ain't over yet, sir. Your goods ain't here. And none of them bastards look like the blacksmith's hands. Am I right, Henry?
Hard to say. I've never actually seen them. But I don't think it was them.
Me neither. But right past that peak is another good camping spot.
You think this was a patrol?
It makes sense. But I don't want to go assuming the worst. We might have just run into them bandits by chance.
Yeah, well, you were right, as always. Let's go, then. Are you ready, Henry?
Shouldn't we send for reinforcements?
Who would we send for? By the time we return, the bastards will be gone along with my goods.
Don't worry, lad. This scum is no match for us.
We can get going.
That's just grand. Let's go, then.
I thought we had everything clear, then, sir. You tried to fuck with me, so until we ride out, you're gonna stick right there and keep your mouth shut.
We did everything you asked. We got the blacksmith cart and the goods.
Horse shit. You tried to fuck me. That bastard cousin of yours owned up to it.
It was his idea. I wanted nothing to do with it.
It makes no difference to me, Venser. You vouched for the crooked fucker. So now, it's on you. Actually, you could consider yourself lucky. If you hadn't saved my ass that time in Colleen, I'd have goat ear skin you alive.
Bastards. You can't trust anyone in these parts. Get ready, Gnarly. We are going to parley.
Like that time at the Shani, sir?
Yes, exactly.
Only there was more of us that time, and less of them.
Oh, don't worry, there won't be a problem. They're just common thieves. Besides, I'll take young Henry with me.
What, me?
And if they're still feeling brave, you get to try out that new plaything of yours.
Ahem, gentlemen. I'm obliged to you for looking after my goods. But I'll take them back now. Just hand them over, and I'll let you go.
Oh, you must be from Samin, sir. Well, of course you can have everything back. Just as long as you ask nicely, eh? Well, how about we do things differently? You lay down your weapons, and we can all have a nice little chat.
I mean, I don't intend to go murdering local lords. I just want your coin.
That's very noble of you, sir.
What are you gaping at? At them!
You're in for an ass kicking, you piece of shit!
Yeah! Don't spare him!
Bring a fucking state out of it! No time! There's more of them!
Yeah!
Mutt!
Good lad! Yeah!
Come to me, someone! I'm like a sinner! Mutt!
Fuck you! Help me with him! Amen to you! They got what they deserved, the fuckers! Henry! Hey, Henry! Are you listening? Come here!
We'll decide what to do with you later. What about your family?
What now? One of them bastards fled into the rocks. Chase him down and bring him back.
I'll go and track him then.
Great. Hurry.
I've got you now, Venser. You've nowhere to run to. Yield.
Well, why the fuck would I? It's just you against me. Besides, if I do yield, it's the rope for me anyway.
Who knows what they'll do to you? You might just get a whipping.
For robbing Semine, that old miser. He'll have me strung up from the nearest tree. I'd be better off jumping off the cliff.
Hey, I saw you cozying up with Gules. Seems to me he trusts you pretty much.
What? He wanted to skin me alive.
But he didn't.
What's that got to do with anything, anyway?
Well, I'd say you have a way with the nobles. People trust you. You just say it was the rashness of youth. Pour ashes on your head, and they'll be lenient. You'll tell Lord Semine it was a youthful folly, eat crow, and that'll be that.
Convince his lordship? I'm not sure.
Well, either you give it a try, or we fight it out, or you jump.
Although, Ma always said I could talk my way out of anything. For sure. I'm better at it than fighting with strangers or diving headfirst off a cliff. All right. But only if you'll put in a good word for me. You'll tell them that I gave him up right away. And I don't know, well, the face of the Virgin Mary appeared in the clouds?
You got it. But I'll try and think up something better than the Virgin Mary.
All right. Let's go.
I've got a prisoner for you, sir.
Excellent. It all worked out quite well in the end. Gnarly will take care of this scum.
What about Gules?
He caught a few good hits, but he's alive. We'll take him with us. I need to have a strong word with him. You did a good job, youngster. You've got heart. And so you don't say I had you clambering over these rocks for nothing. Here's something for you.
Thank you, sir.
Don't thank me, you deserved it. And now, let's get that accursed cart back to Semine. Want a ride? We'll go via Troskovitz. We can drop you off there, and you won't have far to Tarkov. You ought to report back to Radovan as soon as possible about what happened with these hands.
A ride would be great. My legs are sore.
Wait until you're my age. Well, let's get going.
I didn't do nothing wrong, I swear. It's all Venser's fault. It was him who said we'll sell the car to Gules.
It weren't like that at all. We shook on it. But on the way, you had the idea we'd keep it.
What? That ain't true.
Leave it out, you two. One way or another, you wanted to fuck me over. Doesn't matter whose idea it was.
A thief robbing a thief. What a world.
I'm still a nobleman, if you don't mind. So I'm not a thief. I'm a robber baron.
A thief's a thief.
Where are you taking us?
To Samin, where his lordship will hear you out and decide what to do with you.
I hope you realise you can't just execute me.
It depends. By right, I should send a plea to some court to decide if we can behead you. But in these shitty times, nobody will give a toss. Parchment's dear, and ink ain't free either. So as far as I'm concerned, I'd happily risk it and lop your head off without permission.
I see how the law is respected here.
Ha! Are you yanking my pizzle? You're a fine one to talk about law.
And what will happen to us?
What do you think? If they'll execute a nobleman, they won't think twice about a hired hand or two.
You never know, Henry. Lord Samin is merciful. Maybe this whimpering will soften his heart.
Oh, I'm not whimpering. I'm just trying to tell you how it was.
Bollocks! You're full of shit! Don't believe a word he says, Captain!
Samin might be merciful, but whether he'll be in the mood for this, I can't say.
I'm innocent! I swear on my ma's soul!
Is that supposed to soften my heart? Ha! Every man she could, I dragged to the gallows, swore on his mother. Nobody with any decency would risk his mother's immortal soul, even if he was as pure as the driven snow. But this bastard doesn't think twice about his soul. You should be ashamed of yourself.
The captain's right. Only the lowest of the low swears on his mother.
That's right! You always were a piece of shit, Francie. No scruples.
Well, ain't it grand to have you here to explain everything? Now shut your gobs, the three of you. Don't want you poisoning the air with the shit you spout. Right, we're in Troskovitz. This is where you get off, Henry.
Thanks a lot, Captain.
Don't forget to go and tell Radovan what happened, so he can stop worrying.
Will do.
And drop by Samin sometime. You may be wet behind the ears still, but you're a laugh to have around.
Wet behind the ears? You're a bit young for that kind of talk, Captain.
Ah, if only.